that we were speaking last time, how the right way to do ishtadlut is not to think that when you don't have enough money, you gotta do more selling, or more running around, or get another job. He says, rather, you have to do teshuvah. You have to go and do cheshbon nefesh, check yourself, what kind of mitzvot you do, what kind of sins you do, and you gotta improve yourself. And then HaKadosh Baruch Hu will give you what you need. Because a lot of times when you suffer, it's because HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants your attention. So when you do teshuvah and give Hashem your attention on your own, then the suffering automatically goes away. And that's what the Nefesh HaHaim writes about the big Segulah. There's a huge Segulah from Rabbi Chaim Volozhin, from Rabbi Chaim Volozhner, who was made the first real big yeshiva. And all the yeshivas are following his model. And that is, he says, when a person's in a tzar, if a person's ever find himself in a state of distress, yitbonen b'achdut borei asher and od milvado. He says you gotta contemplate and think about enon milvado. What is enon milvado? There is no one besides for him. That a person's got to know and think about how Hashem is the creator and the ruler, and there's no one besides for him, and He is one. We say Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. What does it mean Hashem Echad? Hashem is one. It doesn't just mean Hashem is one and not two. It means that everything in the world is really from Hashem, and everything is really one. Everything is in HaKadosh Baruch Hu, included in HaKadosh Baruch Hu, because He made everything and He gives life force to everything. So therefore, when you, says the Nefesh Hayim, when you would think and remind yourself and say, Eno Milvado, when you're in a situation of trouble, as memela yistalku v'imenu kol hadinim v'kitrugim. Right away, all the judgment and accusations will be automatically removed from you, and you will not come to harm. As the pasuk says in Shaya, Hanavi, Ani asiti v'ni esa, v'ni esbor v'yamaleh. I made you, I will bear you, I will carry you, and I will rescue you. So you see that when you realize that everything is from Hashem, even this suffering and everything that Hashem is doing to you is from Hashem, and you say Elom Milvado and you believe it, that's the biggest Segulah to make the suffering go away. Once you give Hashem your attention, then Hashem doesn't need the suffering to get your attention anymore. There's a famous story with a person who came to the Rabbi Chaim Volozhin, and he said to him that he had a very, very difficult time with communism. He came to the Bet Halevi. The Russian government officials were going out doing inspections in all the stores, and they would go and if they would find any small thing, they would send you to the Gulag. So he was very nervous. So he came to the Bet Halevi. He told them, bring a Nefesh Hayim, and open it up, and he learned about the power of Eno Milvado. And for many hours, he was learning about Eno Milvado, and thinking about Eno Milvado. All of a sudden, the store owner's wife ran in, and she said that the inspection, they were about to go to his store, and before they went to his store, they did the store before his, and they stopped, and they put an X on the map, on their chart of where they stopped for the break. And when they started the break again, they ended up skipping one, and they went to the next address. They missed his store. Why? And he realized how Hashem saved him because of the power of Enon Milvado. There's a famous story with the Brisker Rav and his kids, where he was running away from Europe, and he told his kids, whenever you feel stressed out and feel like something's going to happen, just remember, Enon Milvado. And on the time they were in the train, the Nazi soldiers started making their way. In the end, they weren't caught, and the children said, we knew 100% it was because we had in mind Enon Milvado. We know that there's a Tana in the Gemara. Rabbi Zino Mendoza lived by this. Rabbi Zino Mendoza, the Gemara says, Brachot, that there was a snake or some sort of creature that was killing everyone in the community whenever they would pass by the hole. And they told the rabbi, 2 people already died from this snake. Come and take care of this. He said, show me where the snake is. He said, they took him to the next to the town, show him the hole where the snake lives. He said, look, there, he's there. And when he passes by, he bites him, you're dead. No problem. He comes, he sticks his leg out in front of the hole. The snake bites him, and the snake died. So he said to him, what is this? He said, you see? He took the snake, he brought it to the Bet Midrash, and he put it on the table. And he said, it is not the snake that kills. It's not the poison that kills. It's the gno. It's the sin that kills. Therefore, everything you have to do. Who gave power to the snake? Hashem. So therefore you have to realize that if you deserve it, it's going to happen. If you don't deserve it, everything's from Hashem. Witches came to him and they said, we're going to put Judagar on you and they're going to go and do witchcraft to you. He says, I'm not scared. Eno Milvado. There's no one besides Hashem. Who says you have power? Who says black magic has power? HaKadosh Baruch Hu, our God, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says it has power. So therefore, if I realize it comes from it, and Milvado, then HaKadosh Baruch Hu will protect me. If I have the reason to get punished because of the sins I have, okay. But if I have merits and I don't have the sins, I shouldn't suffer. Therefore, I'm not nervous from you. I'm more nervous from what HaKadosh Baruch Hu thinks of me. So therefore, we should also to realize, Eno Milvado, and we should all be saved from all horrible situations.